All right, let's talk about getting what you want. What if I told you the absolute best way to get someone to say yes is actually by telling them no? I know it sounds totally backward, but it's a seriously powerful brain hack. So let's break down exactly how this works.
I mean, think about it. It sounds nuts, right? Our first instinct when we want something is to push. We argue, we convince, we lay on the pressure. But what if? What if that's the very thing that makes people dig their heels in? What if the real secret is just flipping the script entirely?
Well, this little magic trick actually has a name. It's called reverse psychology, and it's so simple. All you do is you argue for the exact opposite of what you really want. And this little nudge pushes the other person right where you want them to go. And you know the best part? When you do it right, they walk away thinking the whole thing was their brilliant idea.
Okay, so why on earth does this actually work? It's not just some parlor trick. No, it's actually baked right into our human DNA, tapping into a trait that, honestly, we all have.
It all comes down to this psychological quirk called reactance. See, every single one of us has this deep fundamental need to be in control of our own lives. We absolutely hate feeling like we're being forced to do something. So the second someone says, you must do this, our brain just screams, no, you're not the boss of me. Our automatic response is to push back just to prove we can, even if deep down we might actually agree with them.
And this is the key thing to get. This isn't about being manipulative. It's actually about empowering the other person. When you suggest the opposite, you're basically handing the steering wheel back to them. And suddenly, choosing the thing you wanted all along becomes their choice, their decision. It makes them the hero of their own story. All right, enough with the theory. Let's get into the good stuff. Here are 5 simple, everyday hacks you can literally add to your toolkit and start using today.
First up, a classic. Any parent knows the struggle, the picky eater. You want your kid to eat their veggies, right? But begging and pleading just turns dinner into a total battleground. So you just flip the script. And boom, just like that, the entire game changes. That broccoli isn't a chore anymore, it's a prize. It's this exclusive grown-up thing that they are now desperate to try. Okay, now let's talk relationships. We all know that nagging your partner about chores is like the fastest way to start a fight. So instead of pushing them to do something, try pulling back a little. What's so genius about this one is that it taps right into their ego, their desire to be seen as strong and capable. I mean, nobody wants to be told they're too tired for a simple task. More often than not, they'll hop up and do it just to prove you wrong.
And what about that one friend who's always, a little hesitant to try new things? Let's say you really want to go see that new scary movie, but they're not so sure. Don't try to convince them it's not that scary.
Instantly, you've put their pride on the line. Too scary for me? Oh, I'll be the judge of that. You see, you've turned it from a simple suggestion into a direct challenge to their bravery. Now they're not just watching a movie, they're conquering it. Believe it or not, this can be a total game changer at work too. Imagine there's a huge project you really want to lead, but you're worried your boss thinks you're not quite ready. By showing just a little bit of self-doubt, you can actually trigger your boss's instinct to build you up. They might start thinking, hang on a second, I actually think they are ready. And then they might just give you the job to prove their own gut feeling right and your self-doubt wrong. And finally, we've got a classic one from the dating world. You had an amazing first date and you really want to see them again, but you don't want to seem too eager or needy. This works like a charm because it takes all the pressure off. You're giving them an easy way out, which puts them back in the driver's seat. But it also creates this tiny, subtle challenge that makes them want to prove that, yes, they are interested and no, they're definitely not too busy for you. Okay, but hold on. Before you run off and start using this on everyone, we need to talk. This is a genuinely powerful tool, and with great power comes, great responsibility. You got to use it wisely.
First, you have to know your audience. This stuff works best on people who are independent, maybe even a little stubborn. If you try it on someone who's super agreeable, well, they might just agree with your reverse statement. And also, please keep the stakes low. This is for deciding where to get dinner, not for making massive life decisions.
And here are a few final pro tips. Your tone is everything. You got to keep it light, keep it playful. A little smile goes a long way. And this is the most important part. Never, ever use this to manipulate someone into doing something harmful. And hey, practice a bit so it doesn't sound like you're reading from a script. Once you get the hang of this, it's so much more than just a persuasion trick.
It's like you've unlocked a secret superpower for understanding how people tick. And this is not some new thing. People have been using this for centuries. There's a famous story about Captain Cook, who could not get his sailors to eat sauerkraut to prevent scurvy. So what did he do? He made it an officer's only food. And within a week, the regular sailors were demanding their share. It's classic reverse psychology. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll start spotting this trick absolutely everywhere, in limited edition sales and ads that tell you don't click this button. They're all poking at that little rebel that lives inside all of our brains. Understanding this doesn't just make you more persuasive, it makes you a way smarter person. So there you have it, a really powerful tool for your social toolkit. Now, I'd encourage you to go out and try one of these hacks today, but then again, you probably shouldn't. It's totally your choice.